Growing up in a way where you have multiple cultural influences on you means that you're never going to be able to fit in. You can try, you can chameleon. You know, people who code switch were very good at chameleoning in. And we're like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit, and you're not even thinking about it. It's just normal, it's just natural.
On this week's episode of The Baldwins, Hilaria Baldwin is opening up about the backlash she's received over her accent. The topic came up while she was talking to the sister of her daughter Carmen's friend, who has lived in 4 different countries. While talking to Hilaria, the 15-year-old admits she sometimes changes her accent depending on who she's hanging out with.
They say that it's like communication, like people who, if you ever talk to like a really old person who cannot hear, and you have to like, you notice, you're like, I'm gonna emphasize, yes. I'm gonna speak slower, and you're not even really thinking about it, you just start to do it.
It just happens.
No, it just happens. You know what it's called?
What?
Code switching.
Actually?
Code switching, yeah. No, it's like a real thing.
I did not know that.
I know, I had to learn about it because the whole world was like mean to me, and so I had to learn it. It's code switching.
The 41-year-old then revealed how she dealt with the 2020 controversy over her accent after people began to question the authenticity of her Spanish origins.
Being in, you know, the spotlight, as people like to call it, people say, oh, don't you get used to it? No, you don't get used to it. You never get used to people being mean. But you take a deep breath, and I think you learn to distance yourself from it. And so, you know, you just try turning down the volume in my head of it. Okay, I'm just gonna turn that down. And I'm not gonna take it personally.
The mom of 7 also candidly opened up about her pregnancy losses.
I had 4 kids pretty quickly. Then I got pregnant naturally like I did with all the other ones. And so I had a miscarriage. Be okay. I was very public about it. Came out, had conversations that were hard to have for me. It's a very hard thing to go through.
She said she tried IVF and was able to get pregnant, but lost the baby about 4 to 5 months in.
They don't know why she died. I just went for like a normal scan. But I knew because I think I knew. Because I kept on saying I can't feel her. And so I think I knew. But you don't want to know. So it was, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was hard. And when you have a later miscarriage, loss, whatever word you want to use, your body has to essentially have the baby. It is definitely just a physically and emotionally hard experience. It was one of the lowest I've ever felt. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Hilaria and Alec did end up expanding their family, welcoming 2 more kids, Eduardo and Lucia.
My fear was that if I put her inside of me, I was going to kill her. Can I try? Yeah, let me open it like this, because it's a little hard to... So I connected with people who had done surrogacy. I met this really amazing woman who ended up carrying Mary Lou. Then I find out I'm pregnant, naturally, which I guess you're very fertile after IVF. And I found out I was having Edu. And so we were pregnant at the same time. And so Edu was born. And then Lulu, our surrogate baby, 5.5 months later.
This week's episode was also about moving on. Fans got to see how Alec started to heal after a New Mexico judge dismissed the involuntary manslaughter charges against him for the accidental shooting death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins in the Rust trial.
People say to me, oh God, now you can go back to your life, and go back to my life? I don't want to go back to my life. I want a different life now. I want a different life.
Your priorities are shifting in your life.
Right.
Like, I mean, you have a lot of individuals that you know,
counting on us.
Are counting on you and the 2 of you together, right? So you have to reprioritize what matters to you.
What I hope for you is you realize how many opportunities you have, how many opportunities our kids have. We have so much ahead of us. And I think that regardless of where we move to, regardless of what we're doing, we need to feel really solid within ourselves and every single day try to be better. And I hope as somebody who loves you and as your partner and as the mother of our children, I hope that you can figure out that you're free now. You're free. And then, so when you say
I'll
it's
do
my
my best. That's a near
it's gonna
impossibility
take-
now.
It's
Yeah.
gonna,
On the way home, Alec and Hilaria got into a disagreement over how they're processing what they went through.
what I hear from you, which is really valid, is I've been hurt. I've lost trust
It goes beyond
in
that,
people.
actually.
Yes. No, but Alec, just make it simple. Make it simple, because if you make it so complicated for yourself and so vague, you need to start to put your feelings
I'm
into
hurt
words.
is vague. I think what you're saying is vague. But anyway, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't.
It's not even talking so much about it happening. You can figure out how you want to kind of process
I'm not
that.
following what you're
I'm
saying.
saying is, if we don't process something and we go,
But this is how I'm going to process it. This is how.
you can't just stuff everything down. How do you deal with the pain that you still have inside, the trauma that you still have inside?
This is where we differ. And I'm the one that has to decide. How do I process this? My wounds can't heal while I stay in a public life. What I need is less of certain things in my life to be happy, not more. I need less noise, problems.
Now that the trial is over, Alec and Hilaria are focusing on healing as a family and reconnecting with each other, so they took the kids to a farm.
The past 3 years has been a tremendous weight on us that has, of course, deeply affected our children. We're not giving our kids absolutely everything that we could. So I'm excited because now not only can we check in with how we're doing, but also how our children are doing.
But things got sour after they spotted the paparazzi.
Oh, look, paparazzi. Hey, Raph, will you open the door for us? It's okay, just ignore him.
I've had my skirmishes with paparazzi, and I've had my, problems.
Yeah,
If you're here when my wife and my kid come out here, you've got a big problem. But now I'm 66 years old. What are you going to do now? If you punch every tabloid photographer the way the world is now, you're going to be exhausted by the end of the day. If the guy's taking a picture of my family from 75 feet away, when I was much younger, I would really, really let that bother me. But after everything we've been through, I just want to take care of my family. I want to be left alone.
Hilaria also recalled some wild experiences she's had with paparazzi over the years, including an encounter she had right after Alec got charged.
To try to get in the car and to try to protect him, I went inside, put on a ridiculous outfit, and went back outside. I mean, the fact that they didn't realize that I was like messing with them is extraordinary. I put my back to the corner, so their back was to the apartment. And then we had a car pull up. Alec goes into the car, drives off.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so happy to hear that.
And I walked right back to the house. People call me an attention seeker. Like, they'll say all sorts of things because they don't understand what I'm doing. And so they think I'm nuts. And I'm like, you know what? Call me nuts. But you know what? I'm gonna take care of my husband and I'm gonna take care of my kids.